Hi everyone, it's Melissa, and today I am doing the Backlisted Tag. The original was by Paula from Draw Your Book, and I was tagged by Courtney Ferriter. So this is all about reading backlisted books as opposed to like new releases. I read mostly backlisted books. I don't read a lot of new books, so this is right up my alley. So the first question is, do you read backlisted books? Why? I find this question a little bit strange because, I don't know, maybe I just don't realize that these people exist, but are there people out there who only read new releases? Like, I feel like everyone reads some level, right, some amount of backlisted books, right? Maybe I'm wrong, but yes, of course I read backlisted books. Why wouldn't I? Aside from that slightly snarky answer, I guess, they tend to be cheaper. I can buy them used. Like, backlisted books also tend to be more likely to be at my library system. We don't have the biggest library system here, so I can't get new releases all the time. And even when new releases come in, they don't get like a lot of copies, so you can be on the wait list for like months. So yeah, as someone who's very frugal, I like to use my library or buy secondhand. So that's another reason I read backlisted books. Question 2 is, what is your definition of a backlisted book? I've never actually thought about this before, and I think it's hard to come up with an exact kind of number for this. I think definitely anything older than 5 years is backlist to me. I'm not sure how much more I can narrow that down. Maybe like 2 to 3 years or older, but definitely more than 5 years older. Anything that's like old, I don't even tend to call backlisted. I'll just call classics. Number 3 is, name a backlisted novel you love. I'm going to go with one that I read recently because it's the first one that popped into my brain because it's still fresh, and that is Oryx and Crake by Margaret Atwood. This came out, I want to say it was published in 2002 or 2003, right around there. And it's a dystopian post-apocalyptic book, and it's just really sharp and witty, and it has a lot going on, but it isn't bogged down by that. And I just liked kind of the snarky inner monologue of the character that we follow in that book. He is the last person alive as far as we know in the book. Number 4 is, name a backlisted nonfiction you love. I am also going to choose something I read, well, I guess not that recently, a couple months ago. The Spirit Catches You and You Fall Down by Fatiman. This is a history, kind of like history, kind of like a biography, not really a biography, kind of like a social, or more so like cultural commentary, I guess. It's about a young girl and her family. They are Hmong, so they are refugees from Laos, and their little girl had severe epilepsy, and it's all about them navigating the medical system in America and about the doctors on there and trying to navigate Hmong culture and like the clash of cultures and communication breakdown, and no amount of me explaining it can really do it justice. I thought it was really good. It was published in the early to mid-90s, I want to say. Number 5 is, name a backlisted translated book you love. I've realized that I don't read a lot of translated books. That might end up being a goal for next year to remedy that, but I couldn't really find one that I loved because there wasn't much for me to choose from. But I did find one that I enjoyed. It wasn't quite the right book for me, but I did enjoy it, and I think a lot of people would like it, and that's Hardboiled and Hard Luck by Banana Yoshimoto. This is 2 novellas, and there just wasn't enough plot for me personally, but I really loved the atmosphere of the first novella, and I really loved the character and her introspection, I guess, in the second novella. I just needed a little bit more of a stronger plot. Number 6 is name an author you have read all of the backlist from. I think none. I really think none. Some of the people that I've read like the most number of are really prolific people who have like, 50, 60 books published, and it's like, I don't have all their novels read. So unless you count authors who have only written maybe 1 or 2 books, maybe, like I've read all of Emily Bronte's novels because there's only one. But again, I don't tend to call classics backlisted, but whatever. Semantics, who cares? So yeah, I think the answer is none unless you count like people who only wrote 1 novel. Number 7 is name an author you want to read all of the backlist from. So Kazuo Ishiguro, I think. I read Never Let Me Go earlier this year and I loved it. And I really want to read Remains of the Day. That's the other one that a lot of people, at least on BookTube, seem to talk up. So I'd like to read that one. But just all of his books in general, there seems to be a wide variety of books that he's put out, but also his backlist isn't so extensive that it would be overwhelming or inconceivable to read all of them. So reading his entire back catalog is doable, so I think I'll go with Kazuo Ishiguro. Number 8 is name a backlisted book that you think will become a classic. This was the hardest one. I'm going to go with something that, I don't know, maybe people will think this is a little bit frivolous, is that the right word? But I'm going with The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. I've only read the first book, so I mean, maybe the whole trilogy isn't as good as the first book, I don't know. But regardless of what you think about dystopian novels or YA novels, I think that book was such a phenomenon that I think it will stand the test of time as a classic in YA literature. Is it the peak of literary accomplishment? No, but I don't think a classic necessarily has to be. And yeah, I think that one will be around for a long time. I think that's all the questions. Who do I tag to do this? This is a brand new tag, I think, so hopefully not very many people have done it. I would like to tag Brian from Bookish. Brian, I know you're kind of on and off tags, so I mean, obviously skip it if you don't want to. That goes without saying for everyone, right? I literally don't care if I tag you and you don't do something, so just don't stress. Also, I think I would like to hear from Hannah, from Hannah's books, and I really like going for the trifecta here. So let's go with Berna from, I am sorry I can never remember your channel name, Berna's Bookish Adventures, Berna's Book Adventures. You know who you are, Berna. I tag you. So that's it for the backlisted tag. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll chat soon. Take care. Bye.